you guys want to go and check the Facebook and YouTube stuff to see if it's showing?
Now live, I just got an email, so it is. Hey, Tara? Tara?
Yeah?
When you come down, would you mind bringing those things off the printer, please? Oh, okay. What?
I'm right here.
Whoa. It sure did sound like you were upstairs. And I was like, what?
What?
I thought you were upstairs.
Oh. You know, hold it down here. That one location, which I don't think is necessarily probably true. Lowe's.
Okay. It's up in both Facebook and YouTube. I can see both feeds.
I'm not a good YouTuber. Okay, it's right. It's
So,
on my.
so right at 6:30, I have to start the 30-minute countdown screen.
Okay. What? Why are you whistling? Kristen's not here, you can talk.
Come help me find it, Cindy.
I think there's just too much jumping. No, I don't know. This is your feed. Did you refresh your feed? Sam. Oh, he's nice. Are you following the page?
Wow, you did a great job with the credits. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, but go in there, cause you can have it say show first. Here. Oh, switch to this, okay. Oh, there it is. Hit follow, and then it'll pop up a screen. You're now following this page. There you go. You're all set now.
Okay, so if people are watching it, oh, it's me and Cindy.
Yeah.
I'm on there too.
So can I just say, we'll see you in an hour?
You don't have to say anything.
Well, it's more than an hour, right?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
And there's no mic on or anything, right?
No, no.
All right, we just set an alarm for 6:28 or something.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I think the person was sitting down.
Let me listen to this other one in case they're.
I don't understand why that's not. Apparently it doesn't like AirPods.
Dude, you've got an audio out over here. Can we just try it? Let me with the hard wire.
We can, but you're gonna wear headphones during the
I mean, I can yank the thing down and
top
just.
off real quick?
I can run it under my shirt though. Run it through the back of
You
my
know
shirt.
what? I think it's gonna work. Hold on.
I may have an IFB that'll hide my ear.
No. You know what? This is gonna work. I'll throw these back in here real fast. Wrong side. Oh, it's working.
Is it?
They're working. Here. Yeah. You're gonna hear some dinging. You hear that, right?
Mm-mm.
No? You don't hear that? This is bizarre. Oh wait, how about this? Wait.
Excuse me.
Don't take them off.
Okay.
I think it's gonna work. So you don't hear that?
Nope.
Connect, it says connected to music. Nothing?
Mm-mm.
I don't understand. This is the weirdest thing. Do you want to try plugging headphones into that then?
Bless it.
do-
I don't have COVID.
I don't think it's the sneezing so much, is it?
I don't know, I just felt like I should say it.
Oh yeah. Probably at least for another few months.
Do you hear that?
I can hear ding ding.
Yeah.
I can also hear myself with about a half second. Not gonna work.
Yeah, but you're gonna have it on. You're not gonna be wearing it when you're talking, right? You're only gonna put it in when you're not talking.
And so when we come out of the thing, I'm gonna pull it out.
I mean, it's up to you. You want to have the audio in because you want to know when your cues are. Correct?
Yes.
So what if you pop it in while we're playing videos, and then when you're getting ready to, it's up to you.
Is it gonna have that delay in it?
Probably. I don't know that there's anything we can do about that. Oh, you know what? I can turn off the monitor of your. You know what? Let me try this. I bet I can turn off the microphone monitor. Yeah.
Whoa! Now I'm hearing. I just heard her sneeze. From
now,
like.
now you probably can't hear the microphone. Talk, and you're probably good now. Hello, hello.
Now I'm hearing audio that's coming from about 30 seconds ago. Is there some sort of feed running or something?
Oh, I wonder if it's your. I wonder if it's your what's your AirPods. I bet it's your AirPods.
What? Oh my.
Microphone on your AirPod?
No.
No.
Could it be?
Could be, yeah.
You want me to put these on the porch or something?
No, I mean you can just turn off your AirPods.
How do you turn them? I don't know how to turn them off.
Oh, you know what? Let me just disconnect.
Kick them off your thing.
Yeah, I will.
Holy cow! Now I'm hearing stuff from like a minute ago. Now I'm hearing things from yesterday.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I know what's happening.
What?
You're hearing the feed.
That's what I was thinking. Are you running a feed and it? Hello, and welcome to PFLAG Charlotte's Pride and Purpose virtual fundraising event. My name is Kristen Hampton, and I am honored. I'm so proud to be here with you hosting this show tonight. And tonight, let me tell you what a lineup we've got. We're going to hear from some incredible families whose lives have been forever positively changed by this organization, PFLAG Charlotte. Also got some really cool entertainment lined up for you. And keep an eye on your screen here because we're going to have a silent auction. You can bid on a whole ton of cool stuff like a vacation package. We've got some football tickets, a whole lot of other stuff you should be able to see there on your screen in just a few seconds. You can go to pflagcharlotte.org/pride and purpose to check that out there. You can also find other ways to donate because that is why we're here tonight, of course, to raise money. And we've got some ways that you can help us do that tonight. You can text your donations. You can scan the QR code you see there on your screen. You can also go straight to the website, or you can do it the snail mail way and send in a check. All of those donations are so incredibly appreciated because, as you know, PFLAG Charlotte relies on those the generosity of you and organizations to help do these incredible things with these families. And that's what we want to show you here tonight. To start with that, we're going to introduce you to the Cooper family and let you know first how they found PFLAG and exactly what it's done for them.
What brought us to PFLAG Charlotte was that our son, between his 8th grade and freshman year of high school, told us that he was transgender, that he was assigned female at birth and now identified as male. And so our initial response was trying to figure that out all on our own, and because we don't really have anybody to turn to ask them, hey, how'd you deal with this? Or what do you think about this? And eventually I think we said, let's go ahead and try PFLAG Charlotte. We had heard about it, but never really got a chance to go. And so we said one night, let's go ahead and make our first trip there. And the feeling of being isolated prior to and then walking into a PFLAG support group was just amazing to see all the people that were had been on the journey with their children before us or were new to the journey and could really support us and give us advice that we were looking for.
It's a place where you feel vulnerable and you can feel safe enough to feel vulnerable with other parents and support systems. And it's nice to know everybody's at different stages of where they're at. So you might see somebody with older kids and some people who have younger kids. So I think it helps you understand that it affects everybody at different stages of life, and you have a sense of community.
I think the thing that surprised me is how much support we got from people we were a little bit concerned about not getting support from. We decided that to announce that our son was transgender, that we were going to post that on Facebook. And immediately, almost everybody we knew that we were connected with, like, just flooded the comments with, that is great, congratulations, you know, he's so special, we love him, we love you guys. And so that was amazing support from just our friends, and then particularly from her family.
Parents tend to see their children as extensions of themselves, and it's kind of hard not to micromanage their identities and not take that personally, like you did something wrong or you should have known. And I think going to PFLAG helped us realize, like all the expectations or values that we have really have nothing to do with gender or sexuality. All those are still the same. You know, we want our son to be a good person. We want him to be self-sufficient. We want him to be happy, regardless of his gender or identity or sexuality. And he is. He's all those things. And he's himself, and that's what matters.
Even though we were accepting of him, right away we were like, okay, give us time to catch up a little bit. And so he just kind of took off. Like when I took him to his freshman orientation, or when he gets to go around and visit all his classes, it was like he went into every class and told the teacher, this is my name, please make sure you use it, here's my pronouns. And it was just amazing to see him, just a kid who's fairly introverted to begin with, just go up to every teacher and say, what you see on the roster is incorrect, this is how I like to be called.
I think the work at PFLAG is really important in that it creates a space for you to go to where you can learn and grow. That sense of community, the education, the outreach.
We are seeing right now across the country that states are trying to roll back what were non-existent protections for the LGBTQ plus community to begin with. And organizations like PFLAG and PFLAG Charlotte are out there trying to educate people and make people aware that transgender people and LGBTQ plus people, they're no different than anybody else. They just have a different gender identity or a different sexual orientation than you. And being able to make people aware of that and educate people, whether it's healthcare professionals or parents or school teachers, is just going to provide one safe space for those kids and children, knowing that they can go to a teacher or a healthcare provider or an organization that supports them.
Even if you have a child or a family member that's questioning and on that journey, PFLAG Charlotte can meet you there. And they create a space where you can question. It's safe. It's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. You can figure yourself out, and it's okay.
And that right there is why PFLAG is so important to so many people. That's why we're raising money here tonight. And of course, speaking of money, you know this as well as I, Bank of America has been such a strong supporter of the LGBTQ plus community for years. And this year, they're the presenting sponsor for tonight's show. So let's hear now from Community Relations Manager Paul Burley.
Good evening. My name is Paul Burley, and I'm Community Relations Manager for Bank of America here in Charlotte. We are delighted to serve as presenting sponsor of tonight's Pride and Purpose event, supporting our good friends, PFLAG Charlotte. At Bank of America, our purpose is to make financial lives better through the power of every connection. Those connections may include helping someone close on a new home or invest in a small business. But it's also the investments we make in local communities by giving our employees a great place to work, by supporting the diverse needs of our clients and customers, and by the way we proactively engage in our communities. See, we believe the value that we bring is only strengthened by the diverse backgrounds and perspectives of those seated at the table around us. That's why Bank of America was the first financial institution to provide comprehensive benefits to domestic partners. Our LGBTQ plus ally program boasts 45 chapters and over 30,000 ally and out-at-work teammates across the globe. Our internal life event services team helps our employees navigate through major life events, including gender transition. Philanthropically, the financial support we provide LGBTQ plus organizations is really only matched by the sheer number of hours our employees commit in volunteer time to those same organizations every year. It's all of those reasons and more why we stand firmly and proudly next to you, PFLAG Charlotte, in support of the critical work you do for all of us each day. So thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing us to join you. We hope you have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing all of you in person very soon.
Thanks again so much to Bank of America. Also to partner sponsor Moore and Van Allen, supporter sponsors Blue Cardinal Wealth Solutions, and Kelly and Matt Leach. Also, a big thanks goes out to the Ally and Friend sponsors you can see listed right there on your screen. Their support and your support, that's what makes this organization work. We want to remind you again, you can donate by text. You can donate with that QR code. Go to the website, pflagcharlotte.org, or you can, of course, mail in a check. And if you'll stick around to the end of the show, I'm going to tell you how you, just by watching the show, can win this $150 Shake Shack gift card tonight, just for watching. And you know, a lot of people consider PFLAG Charlotte, a lot of people that have found this organization, consider it like a home, if you will. It's kind of a refuge and a safe place. So tonight, in honor of that, we're going to hear from the Gay Men's Chorus of Charlotte, and then we're going to hear directly from our very special keynote speaker tonight.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Follow this way to string us along. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Trouble it might drag you down. You feel lost, you can't always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Good evening. I'm Karen Gracie, the Executive Director of PFLAG Charlotte, and my pronouns are she and her. It's my honor this evening to introduce our keynote speaker, Brian Bond, Executive Director of PFLAG National. Brian Bond is a former Obama administration official and LGBTQ advocate with an extensive background in constituency outreach and coalition bridge building. He most recently served as the Coalition's Director for the Climate Action Campaign in Washington, D.C. Prior to that, he was the Deputy CEO for the 2016 Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. During the Obama administration, he served as Deputy Director for the White House Office of Public Engagement and primary liaison for the LGBTQ community, the first to serve in that role. In 2012, he moved to the EPA to work on the administration's climate initiatives. From 1997 to 2003, Brian served as the Executive Director of the Gay and Lesbian Victory Fund and is credited with expanding the success of the organization and support for LGBTQ candidates. Brian is a Missouri native, has a degree in public administration from Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. And Brian knows PFLAG Charlotte, joining us at the Happening Luncheon at the Westin 2 years ago, spending time with us at the PFLAG National Convention in Kansas City. He continues to show up for our chapter and for our state. I must also give a shout out to Brian's best friend, his dog Windsor. Brian Bond, thanks for being with us this evening, and thanks for all you do to build a better world.
Hello, everyone. For those of you I have not met as of yet, my name is Brian Bond. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And it's great to be with you here tonight. Working with PFLAGers across the country has been one of the most enriching honors of my life. I've truly met some of the most fierce parents, family members, allies, and LGBTQ plus folks working to make this a better world. First and foremost, I hope that you are safe and well. It is such an honor to be part of PFLAG Charlotte's fundraising event tonight. And I'm sorry we can't be all in person, but so glad we can still come together and celebrate this great occasion. I want to thank PFLAG Charlotte's president, Karen Grassi, and the whole board and all of the volunteers for all that you do in service of LGBTQ plus people and their families in Charlotte. Thank you to the donors and corporate sponsors that made this event possible, and for helping PFLAG Charlotte do the amazing work it does every day, saving lives and supporting families here in Charlotte and the surrounding area. Special shout out to Bank of America, presenting sponsor of this event, and for all that Bank of America does to support the LGBTQ plus community here and across the country. I want to speak just for a minute or two about advocacy, which is more important than ever. I know that we are all angered and disheartened about the surge of 100 plus anti-trans bills across the country attacking trans youth. While North Carolina saw the remnants of HB 2 and 142 sunset this year, with corporations making the business case for inclusion, Charlotte has remained a longtime leader for LGBTQ plus non-discrimination. Your continued vigilance and family voices have worked effectively for the pro-LGBTQ plus bills in the state legislature this year and in opposing anti-trans bills here. You've also been deeply committed and passionate to the local work that protects our LGBTQ plus loved ones right here in Charlotte. We will rely on that passion and strength to help pass Charlotte's non-discrimination ordinance this fall. The authentic voices of parents and family members speaking out on behalf of their kids is hugely powerful, as is the voice of the business and professional medical community. Make no mistake, we are under attack. It is painful, hurtful, mean-spirited, and just wrong. Ultimately, we will win this fight for equality, but we cannot let up. We must continue to build the narrative, even when we have setbacks, because some kid or parent out there is looking to see if someone is standing up for them. PFLAG is there for them. PFLAG Charlotte is there for them, as are every one of you participating in this event. PFLAG Charlotte and the 15 chapters across the state, along with our allies, are crucial voices combating these horrible bills. We can't let up. Keep calling your legislators. Keep up the pressure. Keep reminding Governor Cooper we are here every day and that our families deserve safety and fair treatment every day, all year long, especially if harmful bills get to his desk. Again, let us know how we can help. Passing the Equality Act is a crucial solution to this onslaught of heinous state bills. PFLAGers have been showing up to make the case for the Equality Act. It is vital to ensure our LGBTQ plus loved ones are protected from discrimination at the federal level. It's critical to expand protections for LGBTQ plus people and also women, people of color, and people of minority faiths, whom we also count among our PFLAG family. We need the U.S. Senate to join the House and pass the Equality Act now, when we have a president who will sign it into law. What can you do here in North Carolina? Have conversations with your federal representatives on why it matters. This does not have to be political. This is about people's lives and family. Help build the narrative with the public on why the Equality Act matters. It will also have an impact at the state level too, by sharing these real stories. Reaching Senators Tillis and Burr with your PFLAG family story to help them know why we need the Equality Act. So important. Telling your authentic stories and why, as a North Carolinian, you care is important to the decision-making process. It's going to take every one of us from blue states and red states engaging, not just us, but our families and allies. We won't win every battle, but we can win the narrative with the public. And we will ultimately win equality because we are on the right side of history. We also need to be vigilant in protecting trans and gender non-binary people of color. They are literally being murdered for whom they are. We're on pace for another record-setting year of violent murders at epidemic proportions. In April alone, 2 trans women of color were murdered in Charlotte, Jada Peterson and Remy Fennell. And those are only the ones that have been reported. These young trans and non-binary people are part of our family. We must do everything we can to ensure their protection. I'm so very grateful to be a part of the greater PFLAG family. And I look forward to the opportunity to come back to Charlotte soon to see you all in person. And maybe have some biscuits and gravy and some barbecue. Although we might have to have a debate around Missouri barbecue versus North Carolina barbecue, but I digress. When you have people question why this matters, remind them about the bad bills designed specifically to harm trans kids. Remind them of the trans and non-binary people who are being murdered just because of who they are. Remind them about the loss of productivity at the workplace when people can't be their authentic selves. As we know, about 46% of LGBTQ plus employees remain in the closet. Remind them that 40% of homeless youth are LGBTQ plus because they were rejected or fearful of their safety at home. This work matters. Your voice matters. Recently, I did something at PFLAG I never thought I would have to do. We were approached by a chapter leader who had been reached out to by a highway patrolman. Long story short, a 13-year-old gay kid died by suicide. His parents were trying to understand and be supportive, but he was rejected by his peers in school. The patrolman in this case was the Good Samaritan. You see, the parents literally had no money to bury this kid. While not what we normally do as far as getting directly involved, we couldn't stand by. I got on the phone, and between us and some PFLAG donors, we anonymously paid for this kid's funeral so that that family could have some peace. This happened just a few months back in a place you wouldn't expect. I keep this receipt with me to remind me of our task at hand. What we do matters every day. All this is why I say your financial support and your volunteer time matters. It's about saving lives and creating a safer world. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, PFLAG Charlotte, for all that you do to make this a better world.
Thank you so much, Brian, for that passionate message. And you said it yourself. This is a fundraiser tonight. We're trying to raise funds. So we thought it would be a good idea to tell you exactly why. So we got another next video here is from a group of parents and allies. They're going to explain exactly what PFLAG Charlotte means to them.
My daughter was born a boy. And just always liked girl things. And when she was about 5.5, maybe 6.5, she was in kindergarten, almost the end, she started to ask to wear skirts and dresses. And then we, gave her skirts and dresses to wear at home, but not outside the house. Then it became, well, I want to wear this to school. And so we said, okay, we'll try it. And had that talk, you might get made fun of, all this and that. And she did it. And then she came home one day a few months later and said, I want you to call me Alexis. And and we just said, okay. So we've just kind of rolled with her the whole way.
My son, who's now 10 years old, he came out when he was 8, end of 2nd grade. At the time he was in ballet, and I could see the change where, he started the year off in the tutu and leotard. Then it was leotard and shorts, and then it was just street clothes. And I think that's when I questioned, like, hey, what's going on? And that's when he came out.
I was always an ally before my child came out as lesbian. So when they did come out as lesbian, I was very shocked to find in myself that I was having a lot of difficulty managing family members and how to support my child. So as a result, I began taking my child to Time Out Youth Center, which was recommended by their counselor at school because they were having a lot of difficulties at school. Time Out Youth Center pointed me in the direction of the PFLAG Charlotte peer support group meetings so that I could learn how to be a good support for my child.
It wasn't so much as a matter of support for me, but I really appreciate seeing and hearing other people's stories because I feel like the more you understand of other people's struggles and the hardships they're going through, the easier it is to relate to others.
So I work at a very large company here in Charlotte, and PFLAG was a recipient of an award in which I had the honor of being able to present to them. And when I did, I found out more about their work that they do. And what specifically brought me was knowing that I could be a part of something that was good. Someone else mentioned learning to be supportive, and I learned that I can be supportive. I'm not a parent, but I've been an ally my entire life.
The work at PFLAG is important because just the amount of support, especially when my son came out, that's where I first looked to. Everything was completely new. You know, it was just good to know that there was a group there to support me.
I cannot tell you how many times I go on the Facebook page and, look up doctors or therapists or name change information. What are my next steps? And just reading the stories of other families has been really helpful since my daughter's so young and we're just kind of new at this.
The support that I get from the peer group meetings, definitely appreciate learning from other parents' experiences of what they've gone through with their youth. Everyone's experience is different, everyone's kid is different, but just being able to glean out from other people's experience, you can kind of feel that you relate to all of these varied personalities and challenges.
I guess what keeps me up at night is just the hate that's out there and the misunderstandings about things.
The impact that non-inclusive people may have on their ability to grow into the amazing person that they already are. I worry about their ability to love themselves when others don't love them for who they are, which I do. I love them for all that they are and can't imagine them being any different.
I guess I'm hopeful for our kids and the change that they can make, and especially with the help of PFLAG. I just know at least my child, she's fearless and she knows who she is and she's the first one to tell you. Sometimes I see changes that aren't hopeful, but then I see others that are very hopeful, and the good news is that most of the time those good changes outweigh the bad.
It's becoming more normalized, and that gives me hope that, my son won't be stigmatized over his gender. I work as a preschool teacher, and I always teach kindness always. And I feel like there's so many people that need to go back to preschool and learn that. So
Our kids are just like other kids. I have to argue with her to brush her teeth and brush her hair. She is like every other kid. And she does not want to be treated differently and have to use different bathrooms at school and have to change in a separate, locker room or whatever the issue may be.
We're all on this boat together. There's no getting off of this boat. We have to get along. No matter how different our cultures may be, or our religions, or whatever differences we may find, we can always find that the similarities far outweigh any differences that we might have.
As you mentioned, be kind always. Something that the PFLAG president of Charlotte reiterates meeting and meeting again, time and time again, is be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and know that taking the first step can be the hardest thing, but once you take that first step, it makes it a lot easier to take the next step. So just be kind to yourself and be true to yourself and love your kids.
So I feel like we've got to make a point there. Obviously, that was a story about children with parents, their parents, and some of their allies. You didn't see any children in that story. I think it's really, really important to note that that was a decision that we made and those parents made not to show those children. Now listen to why. It's because of a concern about bullying, not just from other children, but from other adults. And one of the hopes here tonight is that we can help you understand. We can help you find a place where you can go and understand. And we hope, you heard him talk about that there, maybe one day we will show those kids, because they are not ashamed of who they are. Their parents are not ashamed of who they are. And I just thought that was really important to point out. One day, maybe that's a decision that we won't have to make and a discussion that we won't have to have. And you'll see their beautiful smiling faces there right along with their parents and their allies. Now, on that note, in case you don't remember, we're here tonight raising some money. So I'm going to tell you again, in case you forgot, about all the different ways that you can go to donate. You can, of course, text those donations. You can scan the QR code. You can go to the website, pflagcharlotte.org /donate, or you can, of course, mail in a check. You can find that information there on the website. And while you're off doing that, figuring out how you want to donate, we have an awesome performance from One Voice Charlotte. You're going to love that. And then you're going to hear from another family on just how PFLAG has helped light the way for them.
Travel the world.
I came out as transgender in May of my 9th grade year, I believe. And so later that year, I came out to my parents, and I think that sort of not knowing creates a lot of fear. And so I think they initially reacted out of a place of fear of like really not knowing, like, what does this mean? You know, like, what is this?
Because it was all new to us, you know, and well, like kind of what this means, you know, what do you mean you're not, you know, who we say you are, you know? So it was pretty challenging at first to understand it.
It's an understandable concern. I think sometimes where the disconnect is that oftentimes when a child comes to their parents and says, I'm gay or I'm transgender or I'm, you know, whatever identity, they've been sitting on that information for quite some time before they make the decision that like, okay, I need to tell people about this. And so by the time I came out to them, like I was sure, and I was like, this is what I want, this is who I am, and that's just the end of the story. And they were like, hold on, like, what are you talking about? Where is this coming from?
Yeah. They'll do their research and they'll understand exactly what's going on. But then when it drop on the parent, or when it drop, for instance, us, when it drop in our laps, it was like, ooh, you know?
Yeah.
Come on now, because we're now maybe 2-3 years ahead of us, and we're now just starting that journey, you know.
Yeah,
so,
and also just the household and the way that we were all raised. Like, Jamaica is not a great place to be LGBT, and even compounding that, at the time, the church we were going to was a pretty conservative church, and so I think we all sort of had the mindset of like, there is a right way to be and there's a wrong way to be.
Yeah, they are very, very anti-LGBTQ. It's preached from the pulpit, it's in the songs, it's just in conversation that is like the worst of the worst that you can be. If you find somebody practicing that, you should kill them.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not there, because I believe that there are, you know, there are people who are, you know, LGBTQ in Jamaica, but they just can't be themselves. They just can't.
And for me, that's why my visibility has been so important to me, because especially for the fact that I'm trans masculine and I transitioned fairly young, I have the privilege of not being visible, of being stealth, and I've sort of actively chose not to do that. There was sort of a turning point where I was switching schools. I realized I passed consistently as male, and I'm like, okay, I have the choice to either live the rest of my life as just a normal guy and not have anything to do with being trans or LGBTQ or anything, or I can continue to be visible as a trans person. And ultimately I chose visibility because I realized that with the privilege that I have, it allows people to see that trans people aren't freaks. We're not that different. We have the same anxieties, the same fears, the same, you know, we laugh, we're just normal people who happen to be trans. And I think being able to tell my story to different audiences allows people to see a visible trans person and realize that there is life beyond, you know, the murder and all of that stuff. I think the ability to live authentically as who you are is something that so many people take for granted. And me not having that and then moving to a space where I am allowed to just be Devin and be myself, like that's how I know every day that like sense of feeling comfortable and just being normal is just what keeps me going. So luckily we found PFLAG through my therapist at the time, and PFLAG really helped guide our entire family, you know, navigating that process.
Without PFLAG, we would not have been in this place that we are. I don't think Devin would be in this place that he is right now.
I remember when I was younger, I'd watch videos of trans kids with their parents, and their parents would be super accepting and, you know, walking them through like their top surgery journeys, and I sort of never thought I would ever have that. And so every like milestone has been so much more meaningful because I still remember sort of the little kid that sort of never saw that, you know, in the foreseeable future. I always thought testosterone would be something I would have to do when I was financially independent and on my own. And it just makes all of those moments so much more meaningful that, like, because of PFLAG and because of organizations like PFLAG, I'm sort of able to live life so much more easily. I think I was always kind of born to do advocacy and social justice work. I love telling the story that kind of when I was like 6 or 7, I'd call the 311 line when I'd see like malfunctioning street lights, and I'd be like, this is the location and this is what's going on. Like, I need someone out here to like come fix these street lights. And that was just an issue that I, for whatever reason, when I was 6 and 7, I was passionate about. And as I got older, I just started seeing more things that to me was unjust. And it sort of started becoming a mental list of like, these are the things I have to do when I'm old enough to actually do something about it. I absolutely love what I'm doing, and just feeling like I'm making a difference in people's lives. So I think social justice chose me. It was like, hey, Devin, come here. And I was like, all right. And so now I'm here. I'm a firm believer that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so it doesn't really matter what form it takes, it's still injustice. And so whenever I see it, I'm quick to call it out and to see what I can do about it.
My message to, any parent is to love your child, listen to your child. Join a group like PFLAG, seek out other parents who, because you're not alone on this journey, just seek out other support groups, other parents to support you on this journey. Just to let the child feel loved and feel like you're there for them.
If I had to say one thing to LGBT youth, I would definitely say that there is hope and that it does get better. And for a while, I thought that was just not the case. I thought, like, things suck and things are always going to suck and the world hates me and that's just how it is. And it's just, if we can hold out hope for long enough to see things get better, then, like, we'll all just get to live as the humans that we were kind of created to be.
Devin, you already have, and you're going to continue to change the world. What an incredible story. What a brave man. Thank you so much for talking with us tonight. This is one of the things we were discussing today with the executive director of PFLAG Charlotte is how do you let people know what their donations go to? What's the tangible benefit of you giving $100 or $50? All of these stories you're seeing here tonight, they go to educational opportunities, peer groups where parents can go, where friends and family can go and help understand. And it makes people's lives better. You heard Devin just say that. I can live my life easier. So thank you so much for your donations. That's what they go to do. I'm going to tell you this really quick. Here's the part of the night. You guys have stuck around. Thank you so much. Here is how you can win this $150 gift card to Shake Shack, okay? You go to surveymonkey.com. This is going to hopefully be on your screen here. surveymonkey.com/R, the letter R, /PFLAG Pride. You put in your name and your email, you're going to be entered in to win that gift card. That's surveymonkey.com/R/PFLAG Pride. Put that in. This very well could be yours. Okay, $150, Shake Shack. Thank you so much for staying with us all the way through. And I want to tell you, again, thank you, because these donations are rolling in. We've got a lot of people like wow stuff. I want to read some of the names. There's a lot of them, so I'm not going to read all of them. From Heather, from Dawn, Micah, Tyler, from Classic Grooming, from Brian and Drew. Thank you guys so much for your donations. This is huge. This is why we're here tonight, to make people's lives better within the LGBTQ plus community. So thank you for that. Do we have that information again in case you have forgotten it, of all the ways you can donate? Because you can text, you can scan that QR code, you can go online, pflagcharlotte.org/donate, or you can look at the address you see there on your screen. You can mail in a check. All of that is appreciated. Now, as we get ready to end the show, we're going to hear from Shane Maynor with the group Playing for Others.
Every human being on this planet just wants to feel seen and heard, has a deep-rooted desire to know they are not alone. So what would it mean to be accepted for who you are. When a child becomes vulnerable, brave enough to step into their truth, to come out to a world they're unsure of, what would it mean for them to be embraced with love? When the world tries to turn a body into a target, a statement, what would it mean instead to be celebrated? When fear of the unknown starts to slip between a family and the corridor for your child's future is uncertain in terms of safety, what would it mean to know you had support navigating new territory? To discover you had a community of peers to walk side by side with you through the years, who've been where you stood, who understood the challenges ahead. What would it mean to feel safe, supported, to see the reflection of your story in the eyes of another? If you were told that you don't belong, what would it mean to have a community say, "Welcome home"? To no longer be denied access to opportunities.
To have resources.
Allyship.
To be able to show up and shine in all the colors of pride.
Where every dead name gets buried and identity doesn't become something you have to defend.
Where you don't need permission to be yourself.
To find purpose.
Friendship.
What would it mean for equity if more people,
maybe even you,
stepped up and into the role of guardian,
ally,
defender,
ambassador,
advocate?
What if your smile became a banner that bore hope for others to be who they are? What if the act of your arms opening becomes the world turning for change, for the next generation of bold beating hearts to be born into a world that will no longer cause them shame? Do you know how much it would mean to offer space for those who need it? How far your support could go to change the outcomes of families who feel lost and unsure. You could make others feel safe just by offering to educate, because no one should have to shoulder the burden of explaining their choices when it feels dangerous to navigate. What if something as simple as words of encouragement became the detour for someone on their way to giving up?
What if all you had to do to save a life was to show up?
All it takes is to donate.
Or volunteer your time.
All it takes is you.
You.
Choosing to become an ally.
To stand up and stand by.
Offer peer support.
Compassion.
Kindness.
Together, we can strengthen families, empower allies, and elevate LGBTQ plus communities.
I'm an ally.
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 I'm an ally, and I stand for equality,
inclusiveness, representation,
access.
Join us and donate today to change a life.
To make a difference.
Yes, do that.
I'm Kristen Hampton. Thank you for watching, thank you for donating, and thank you so much for allowing me the honor to host tonight. Bye-bye.
Hello everybody, I'm Dr. John Stanley Ross, and it's my pleasure to be the artistic director of the Charlotte Pride Band. And this has been such a wonderful experience creating this virtual performance for you. But it looks like I'm a little bit overdressed. That's better. Enjoy High Hopes.